Well, I finally got to draw Peach, and here's my process. I hope you guys enjoy it. So when I first got into this drawing, I knew exactly how I wanted it to look, but I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to go about the process. So what I did, how I always start in most of my drawings, is I find a lot of different references, but depending on how specific I want something to look, like if I have the exact idea in my head and I know exactly how I want it to look, I'll find several different references. So what I did is I found a bunch of different Peach references online, either from games or from other different artists that kind of have a similar style to me, like as of colors they use and things like that, because my art style is really colorful. I like to use a lot of colors. Like I just like to just add lots of different colors. So I found a bunch of different references that use different colored blues and pinks in the hair, and I thought that was really interesting. So I tried to mimic that the best I could too, not like completely copying, but getting ideas of how I wanted to do it in my own style. And so once I had references for the colors and the design of Princess Peach herself, then I figured I kind of want to make the drawing more of my own. So what I did is I found designs of different dresses and like different pretty looking ball type gowns and things like that, and I used those to kind of figure out how I wanted to design her dress, because I noticed in a lot of references that I found, the dresses that they drew on her were kind of different. Some looked exactly like the actual game, and then some had similar aspects, but they weren't exactly the same. So I used those for designing the dress kind of. And ultimately I kind of went with the same design as the game, mostly, so I think it turned out decently okay, but I'm still practicing that anyway, close. So then once I found the different ideas for the outfit, then I needed a face shape. So in my art, when I draw cartoon characters, what I tend to do is look at the character that I'm about to draw, and then I try to find someone online that has maybe how I would picture this character if she was actual person in real life. So I found quite a few references. I will put them right here so you guys can see them, but I use those for the pose and the face shape for the character. And I didn't copy exactly the face. Like sometimes I just see a picture that just gives me inspiration of the shape and how I want the shape to look, but not necessarily draw the exact face shape in the exact pose. So those two gave me a lot of inspiration of the type of shape for her face and things like that. And then I found this other reference that was supposed to be for lighting, and I kind of changed that reference up a few times. So originally I wanted to go for a more like video game kind of look for the character, but then I found this other drawing by this other artist online, and I will try to find the artist and put them in the description or the top, and they had more of a sunlight type of lighting going on. It was really pretty, and so I figured I kind of want to have that sunlight effect, so I tried to go for that in the drawing and shade in certain areas, how the sunlight would make shadows if we were actually outside. So and then once I started to color her hair here, I started off with it being kind of yellow, like the highlights yellow, the base kind of yellow, but then I went online and found some more references, and I like in my personal art, I like to have like a hue shift, like a very dramatic hue shift in the shading, like I've said before in several videos. But I wanted to color her hair, her blonde hair, with more of an orange, so it would give it more like a vibrant look instead of it being just a darker yellow. And it turned out decently okay. I think I kind of like it. But then for the highlights, I usually go with a completely different shift than the rest of the hair and the shading of the hair. So I did yellow, and when I first started off the highlights, it kind of was a little too... the color was way too bright and was kind of looking a little highlightery compared to the rest of the hair. So I decided to got an eraser, and I kind of erased some areas a little bit to tone it down. And then also I turned down the opacity a little bit to help the highlights to blend in a little more in with the hair, but still have enough contrast so you can see it. And I think it turned out really good. I'm still working on certain areas of how I shade hair and things, so I'll probably practice that later. And so then here I am working on the lighting. So what I did is I got the entire drawing, covered it in a multiply layer, and erased some areas to make it kind of simulate sunlight. So there, has kind of made it a little more strong, and then I increased the intensity of the lighting, and then I kind of tweaked the face and used the liquify tool. So well, that's it, and I hope you guys liked the video. See you next time.